and today I'm going to be answering your questions. Alright, so first question from David McBride. What has been your favorite episode or person you've met by doing Kingdom Geek? Ooh, that's a really good question. I have so many favorite episodes, and sometimes I don't think they're gonna be my favorite episodes until I watch them back later, and then I end up cracking up all over again. So definitely my favorite person that I've met has to be Eliza Taylor from The 100, just because I'm such a huge fan of her and I love the show so much. And to have her on as one of our very first guests on the show was so awesome. And that episode turned out really good too. But also one of my favorite episodes is the Game of Thrones episode with Joe Nafahu, who played Khal Moro in this season of Game of Thrones. That episode was hysterical because Andre knew nothing about Game of Thrones and he did his whole recap and it was just hysterical. But I do have to say, every single guest that we've had on Kingdom Geek so far, they have all been the nicest people. We've been incredibly lucky to get some really big names on our show, and then they also turn out to just be incredible human beings, and they're fun and funny and just the nicest people. So we're just having the best time with this show. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can actually watch it on the full screen app. I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. They are offering a 30-day free trial, so you can check out all the episodes in bulk if you want. But we've had some really fun episodes. We've had cast members from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. We've had creators and talent from the TMNT Nickelodeon show. We've had people from Game of Thrones, from CW shows, and the show has just been really incredible and so much fun for Andre and I, so if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. This is also another Kingdom Geek question. Jordan Goodrich asked, who would you like to have on Kingdom Geek as your special guest? So many people, all right? There are so many people that I would love to have, but mainly we are trying to get Lucy Lawless because I would die. I would love that so much if we can get Lucy on. I would also love some more cast members from The 100, but that show doesn't come back for like a whole year. I would love Maisie Williams, Sophie Turner, anyone from Game of Thrones. I've got a list of people that I would love on there, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely at the top, number one, Lucy. Robert Benton asked, besides Zelda, what other games really impressed you at E3? That's a good question. I actually didn't get to play a whole lot at E3 this year, unfortunately, but there are some games that look really incredible. The new Final Fantasy looks really, really cool. God of War, holy moly. I saw that trailer that they posted and my jaw was on the floor. That looks amazing. I'm definitely gonna have to play it. It just looks like so much fun. Also, Horizon Zero Dawn looked really cool. So those are ones that I'm excited about right now. Obviously Zelda is still at the very top of that list because that was so much fun and I can't wait for the game to come out. Phil Jones asked, will you and Andre cosplay Rey and Finn from Star Wars? We were actually talking about that. I've cosplayed a few times at Comic-Con, and I know Andre used to cosplay a whole lot. So we were thinking of possibly doing that, but it's probably too short notice to do it for this year's San Diego Comic-Con. But maybe we will one day because we both agree that we'd be an awesome Finn and Rey. Clint Lamberson said, thoughts on Finding Dory? I loved Finding Dory. It was adorable. I probably should have made a review of it, but I just didn't have time that week. It's just super, super adorable and I loved it, and it was so cute. I really, really enjoyed the movie. Mike Conrad asked, what kind of life would you have if you were a cartoon? Oh man, I would do everything if I were a cartoon. One day I would be flying around on a dragon. One day I'd be living under the water as a mermaid. One day I'd be a princess. I mean, I would just change it up. I'd go to space the next day. If I lived as a cartoon character, I would just go and do all the impossible things that I can't do in my real life, and it would be awesome. It would definitely be an action-packed adventure. Shelly Benhoff asked, what character from Game of Thrones would you like to see kill Cersei? Ooh, that's a really good question. I honestly would love to see Jaime kill Cersei, just because the prophecy says that she'll be killed by a younger brother, and everyone always thinks it's going to be Tyrion, but I actually think it may be Jaime because if I remember correctly, he was born like 1 minute after her, so that technically counts as a younger brother in my eyes, so I think it's gonna be Jaime. A lot of people are also expecting it'll be Daenerys, but I just don't think that would be as satisfying because they haven't even met Like there's no true turmoil between the two yet. So honestly, I think Jaime would be the most satisfying. Maybe Arya or Sansa. Sansa would be a good one. So I can't really decide on one. Jaime, Sansa, Arya, I choose them. Edgar Brian Martinez asked, what are your favorite fangirl moments on your channel, plus your least favorite too? I've fangirled a lot on my channel. You could pretty much see me fangirling almost every week, especially over Game of Thrones episodes, and I loved doing the recaps and reviews. It just, you know, it's a great place to be able to be like, oh my gosh, I have all these Game of Thrones thoughts, let's talk about it. So definitely that's a good fangirl moment. But as far as like fangirling over someone, probably meeting the cast of Game of Thrones when I went to Northern Ireland, that was like the biggest fangirling moment ever. I was just hanging out in a room with all the cast members and it was surreal. I'm still fangirling about how cool it was to do that, so I gotta say that's my favorite fangirl moment. I don't really know if I have a least favorite fangirl moment, because if I'm fangirling, then it's usually not a bad situation. I'm usually really excited about it, so I don't really have a least favorite. Well guys, thank you so much for your questions. I love answering them. If you have a question for me, you can leave it in the comments below, but I wanna know from you guys, what was your biggest fangirl moment? Was it meeting someone, getting to go do something really cool? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.